Welcome back to today's video. We're going to get straight into the lore today. I want to talk a bit about Vice City and Vice City Stories lore in today's video. Alright, let's get into it. Hey! Get the heck out of here. Alright, we're going to be talking about a bit of lore, so let's go with number 1. Since Sonny Forelli's been friends with Tommy Rossetti since childhood, they were friends, and Sonny was always jealous. He sent him to kill one man, and then that was an ambush to kill Tommy, and that's why Tommy got to know about the Hardwood Butcher. Got known as the Hardwood Butcher, rather. And that got him 15 years in jail. And due to that, we all know that he wants Tommy gone. Because remember in the beginning of the game, he said it was bad for business. So he sends Tommy down here to get the drugs for him. And you know, mobs are not allowed to touch drugs. He did this so he could set him up again. And we know he set it up the deal and he screwed Tommy, because look at this at the end of the deal. There's drugs right there on the table from the deal. In my perspective, Sonny definitely wants Tommy dead. He's behind a major part in this deal, in my opinion. Sonny is just a scumbag. He's jealous of Tommy. Oh, and also, did you know Tommy was a made man? In the mob, you can't kill a made man. So he's doing something extremely dirty. And that's why Sonny had to send him down here. And there was also a Q&A that Rockstar did during the anniversary of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It was the 10th anniversary. I think it was for the mobile ports. Yeah, the mobile ports. But we're going to talk about the deal again. Why did the Lance Vance brothers were a target by Diaz? Why were they the fall guys to this whole ordeal? Well, it's because Ricardo Diaz owned all the businesses that Victor owned. Victor Vance was the biggest threat to Ricardo Diaz, and it's all thanks to Gonzalez who caused his death. And that's why Ricardo Diaz went after it. And Juan Cortez was the one who helped set up this deal, and that's how Ricardo Diaz knows that Victor was back in town. Because you hear him in this cutscene liquidizing one's enemies and keeping the gatekeepers away from the door, if you don't remember. So, Ricardo Diaz seated Victor as a threat to his empire, because he rolled everything at the end of the point. We're going to talk about Lance now, and the reason why they also fought. Because Louise died. Phil's sister. That's another reason why it failed. Because Louise died is the number one reason, and that's also why Phil stayed an alcoholic. Why he stayed addicted to moonshine, and we'll see him in the future in this timeline, still continuing on. Another reason why Lance Brothers Empire, why Lance also failed as a character, why he became evil and backstabbed Tommy, is because he doesn't have his brother holding his leash, and he's getting more emotional. You remember how, like, that song Act Like You Know? That's pretty much Lance's life right there in the beginning of the story games, because he wasn't into no crime family. The only reason why he wanted to join in is because he saw things that, well, he heard the things what his brothers were doing down in Vice City, in Vice City Stories, and he went in on it. To me, he's a man trying to pretend to be a badass. Got there and didn't know what to do after his brother was gone. And I understand that. He would want to take revenge on Diaz. The thing is, he got too emotional when Tommy was belittling him. But it's okay. Lance, it was the last dance for Lance Vance. Lance was one of my favorite characters in the game. But I didn't like how emotional he got at the end. But that builds into his characteristic as a person. Everything broke apart in his mind after his brother died. But I'm going to still say, even though he was emotional, he still is one of my favorite side characters in the game. Now, we're going to get into another character here in a second. We're going to talk about one of the lesser side characters, Ken Rosenberg, and why he's so important. Well, what happens to him at the end of the game, you'll want to know what happens to him? He gets addicted to cocaine. Y'all see it in the club. He gets addicted to the white powder. And with him getting addicted to these drugs, Tommy cuts ties with him. Can you believe that? Tommy is going to cut ties with Ken Rosenberg due to his drugs addiction. Because it gets out of control. We don't see it, but we hear about it through the GTA San Andreas introduction. And that's why Ken right here ends up, after getting cut ties, he ends up going to the airport, packing up his bags, either going into a helicopter or airplane, and he sets a way to get to rehab. And where he gets to go to rehab at, he heads east. Not east, he heads west. Heads on the west coast down to San Andreas. Well, Los Venturas Desert, I meant. And then later tries to call Tommy Vercetti, like in this clip right here.
Look, I made that ingrate, and now he won't take my calls?
And Tommy cuts ties with him completely, like I said. And y'all have a good one.